going on today? So I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine. He just bought a GT500 2014. He had questions about the track app features and stuff. His had nothing right here in his display, his shocks, launch control, or the single focus, his steering setting. So I thought I'd go over really quick how to adjust that stuff, where it's at, and also putting the car in sport mode. So you obviously turn your car on, that's where you start at right here. Oh, this thing won't focus. Let's try that right there. So over here, you can switch this. This will take you over here to track apps. You go to track apps, and that is where all your features are, and you adjust them from right here. So it'll show you right here, steering is standard. You set it to comfort, which is makes the steering feel a little sloppier. Sport tightens up the steering, makes it feel more race car. Or standard. I usually like to leave it in, honestly, standard. You can set your shocks. Sport, which it does help, but it's really bumpy. So I just leave it in normal. Your launch control, you can set your launch control on off, and you can actually set your launch control RPMs here on RPM settings when you want to launch at. A couple other things, you have G-force meter, braking performance, all kinds of cool stuff. So that's where all that stuff is in your track apps. And again, all through right here. The other thing I always like to monitor is your gauge mode. You switch over twice to the toggle, and that sets you in your air-fuel ratios. You can go to the big screen on that. Definitely always something to watch. It's really nice that Ford actually included that, just so you ever know if you're running lean or if you get your car tuned, you can see where you're at air-fuel ratio-wise. Usually bottom throttle, you want to be anywhere from 10.6 to 11.4, not much higher than that. You know, your tuner will obviously go over all that stuff with you. That's a video for a later time. Battery voltage, oil temp, which they actually told you what your real oil temp was, but that's all right. Oil pressure doesn't tell you anything. It's a dummy gauge, so I guess you can always add one of these like I did. And obviously if you have an end gauge, a Lund end gauge, you can actually see it in there. You can monitor all that good stuff. And then if you want to put it in sport mode, you basically have to double tap, put your foot on the brake, and double tap the traction control button. And when you do that, it puts it sport mode, turns traction control off, and changes your steering to sport and stuff. It changes a little bit about the car, nothing too crazy, but it's kind of a nice feature. So, and then obviously hit traction, advanced track back on, everything goes back to normal as it was. So, kind of a cool feature. I'm sure most people already know about this, and it's nothing new at all. But thought I'd make a quick video about it, just so you don't see it a whole lot. And obviously, if you have a 2013, you have the Horse. If you have the 2014, you have the Cobra in the middle. Yeah. So, kind of some cool little touches. Thought I'd show that. Hopefully it kind of helps a little bit for anybody having any questions about that kind of stuff and what track apps do and where to find it and what all it shows. So, but never get tired of hearing those super stock cams. Till next time.